name is Yolanda Hoffman, representative of the Conservatives for Nebraska. With me is candidate for City Council for hope to represent District 1. So Tyeisha Kosmicki, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
So Tyeisha, tell us about your agenda. Why are you running?
Well, I'm running because I have taken a look at how our city has been going over the last few years, and I am looking at pushing back against a lot of the liberal policies that I've seen ruining other cities in our nation, and I don't want to see that happen here in Omaha. I like to see there be the city council be more balanced to support more of the homegrown conservative values that many of our community neighbors have, but isn't reflected on the council. So right now, we currently have overwhelming Democrat majority on the council. I'd like to see that balanced out a little bit more, to see us have our police department and our fire departments fully backed and fully funded. I think that the notion of defunding our police is absolutely ludicrous. And what I'm seeing in other cities, larger cities, is that when we have too many policies that are leaning to the left, the topic of defunding police starts getting picked up and starts getting traction. And I don't want to see that happening here. I also would like to see our small businesses supported after everything that has happened with COVID and them being closed down and suffering. I'd like to see more support them being more supported. And I'd like to see an elimination to government overreach. I think our city has suffered a bit with government overreach in the attempt to. That's my 2-year-old. I have a little company for this meeting. I've seen where our government may have good intentions in trying to help us as a whole, but it's crossing a line into government overreach, and I'd like to be a roadblock to that on the council.
Okay, you mentioned about government overreach. Do you consider a mask mandate an overreach?
I do consider that an overreach. I do not think that the government has a place in determining for an individual what medical health guards they need to be taking. And also in mandating this, they're removing a person's right to choice. And I don't think that is a correct place for our government to be. I think our government needs to focus on ensuring that our city, speaking specifically locally, that our city is well run and leave healthcare measures to the individuals and their families.
Okay, so you mentioned about, having a balance in the city council. So tell us about the current makeup of the council. How many are council members?
So there are 7 council members. There are 2 Republican, and there are 5 Democrats. The council is supposed to run nonpartisan, but that line gets very well blurred and skewed more left-leaning. So I believe with a balance, it would work out to be a little bit more reflective of nonpartisan decision-making.
Okay, so which part of the city do you represent? You are running for District 1, right? Which part of Omaha is that?
Yes, District 1 covers the popular neighborhoods or well-known neighborhoods of Dundee, Benson. It's north of 90th and Dodge. It is to the east of 680. And it's a real squirrely design of how it's not just boxed out. So a section of my district does curve up to more northern Omaha of John Pershing Drive. Another neighborhood that's covered is Keystone and Raven Oaks.
Okay, so that's quite a wide area, but mostly to the north side.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, you know, so right now, I think the incumbent city council member representing District 1 is a Democrat. I know it's
That's
nonpartisan,
correct.
right? But
Right.
people when you run for the city council, it's nonpartisan. But then people really are identified, you know, when they run, depending on their position on issues, right? So so you'll be running against a Democrat. What's your game plan of taking, you know, of winning? You know, what's the demographics politically in this area you're wanting to represent?
Well, the demographics politically are there's roughly 20,000 Democrats, approximately 7,500 independents, 13,000 registered Republicans, and did I say the? I believe I said the nonpartisan of 7,500. So my strategy is to have myself and my wonderful volunteers, boots on the ground, going out door knocking to speak to people on the issues, just taking the issues, my concerns for the city, and my goals to help Omaha in its recovery from COVID and help it strengthen. Um, I'm not going to win. I'm not deluded enough to think that I'm going to win a sign game or a bus stop logo billboard game. I'm a very grassroots campaign. So it's going to be a lot of face-to-face contact with the voters and hearing their concerns and sharing mine. It's going to be a real personal race that I'm running. I'm not running solely on a lot of money to put out a lot of signs.
Okay, so I think you have a good chance. You know, if there is a major turnout of conservatives like you, and
Yes.
you know, Democrats who are, you know, common sense Democrats, I think will support your agenda. And if independents would turn out, I think you have a good chance.
Thank you. I
So
think.
yeah, so I have read your Facebook page about running for city council, and I have read about the fact that you're against the mask mandate, like you have stated, and that, you know, you are not for lockdowns. You don't believe in that.
No.
So beyond assuming the best that you will win, what type of measures you are going to introduce at the city council to help our small businesses, you know, develop, I mean, recover from the pandemic?
Well, I think one of the things that we need to do is speak with our small business owners to find out every business is not in a box. Each business has had a suffering of a different kind. And I think we need to hear from those small business owners to see what their struggles have been as we have gradually reopened. I think we need to look at that restaurant tax again and see how that is affecting our community and our business owners. I think it would be really great to get in, and again, I would need to be into the council and the books for this, but to see if there is some sort of development plan for a local preference procedure to award city contracts to our businesses to help them boost the creation of new opportunities within their business, to help small business contractors have suffered. I think that award system may help them also. There's my little one coming through again. So I think the first step really will be talking with those business owners and seeing where we can help them, opening that line of conversation.
So you are advocating, therefore, for, you know, opening, you know, full opening of businesses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we have our businesses closed down, we have a situation where there are employees out of work. There are business owners that are either facing bankruptcy or detriment to their business line of credit, maybe even borrowing from their personal finances to help keep their businesses afloat. We're destroying our economy. We're destroying small businesses by keeping them open and not able to function fully.
Yeah. I think we need to really open our businesses. Now,
Yes.
on general issues, for instance, let me ask you, right now there is an obvious suppression of conservative voices. What do you think of what is happening when it comes to free speech in America?
I think free speech in America is being suffocated. I think that we are seeing our voices silenced because if our voices are silent, then it's much easier to control the mass narrative that is against conservative values. It's against Christian values. It's against any dissenting opinions. And so, if there are no dissenting opinions, people who may be on the fence are not really sure which way to lean. They will naturally lean toward what they're hearing most often.
So now that conservative voices are suppressed, what do you advise conservatives?
I advise conservatives to speak louder. To speak louder, don't be silent and just think that this is going to go away. You don't think that praying it away is enough. I think that we were blessed with a voice to use it, and we cannot be silenced any longer. We cannot just choose to remain quiet. Many of us still have social media accounts, and this is a time to just not be quiet, to go along, to get along, because if we continue to allow ourselves to be silent, we truly will lose our right for free speech. It's already going away at a blinding rate. It's alarming.
It is indeed alarming, and I share with you on that. I have read that in 1939, most Germans stayed silent. So I think we should not stay silent.
No, we shouldn't. And history is our teacher. So for all of us that have gone through and we saw what happened with the silence of the Germans at that time, you can see where the tide will go for us. That the phrase that history repeats itself is not incorrect. If we do what they did, then we see America being lost.
It's very alarming indeed. So one last question I want to ask you. What is your stand on our right to bear arms? Is it negotiable? What's your stand? Or would you like to follow it to the letter?
I would love to follow it to the letter. And here in Omaha, to that point, I would like to see the purchase permit repealed. There haven't been any crimes that have been stopped by requiring us to pay an additional fee to be able to purchase a firearm. Legal firearm purchasers already go through their background check on the state and federal level. So feeding in an additional fee is also it's incredibly unnecessary. I do not see the point to that, and I totally support our Second Amendment right to bear arms.
Perfect. So, any parting words to Omaha voters, Tyeisha?
Yes, I would like for voters registered in District 1 to reach out to me. I am still collecting signatures. I have a great amount of signatures now. I have the required amount, but I don't know how many will be bounced off. So I would love to meet with people tomorrow. I'll come to you to get your signature. I'd love your support. Just check out my website. It is Kosmicki 4 council.com, KOSMICKI 4.com, where you can see my full platform, sign up to volunteer. My last parting words is just I am definitely looking for more support in Omaha so we can see our city go the way of right.
Thank you very much, Tyeisha.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Having me. Thank you. I appreciate it.